Hello, I'm Damian Barrett and welcome to an AFL.com.au special presentation where we reveal the new rules that have been approved by the AFL Commission. And the man who has been in charge of these significant changes is the AFL's head of football operations, Steve Hocking, who joins us today. Hello, Steve.
Hi, Damian.
Now, let's get straight into it. There's going to be 8 new rules or changes in interpretations.
Yes.
Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the traditional centre bounce setup.
Yep. Yeah. OK, so you've made the changes there. There was talk throughout the course of the year there was going to be 6 in the back line, 6 in the middle, 6 in the forward line. Is that what the rule has come out?
Yes, that's correct. If you have a look at the graphic there, it's important that we recognise the fact that there's got to be pairs that actually, a pair of players that start inside the goal square.
Yep.
And then wingers,
Yes.
they've got to be pinned along that side. We've got a further extension of that whereby there's a certain channel where they can actually populate that part of the ground.
So those wingers you're referring to there, they can't move outside of that shaded area there.
That's
now.
right. That's exactly right. So up and down that wing.
And at what point can any one of those players on screen, including the people in the goal square, actually move?
As soon as the bounce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, if they're in the wrong spot, infringements will be applied.
Just a free kick, straight in the centre square.
Yep.
As it currently is, if you pop a toe over the line, it's a free kick in there. Yep. So it's the same.
The strategy around all this is going to be the fascinating outtake of it. The wingers, as we can see there, they've got a bit of, I suppose, leverage there. Do you expect some teams to be sending those 2 wingers back to the defensive posts if need be?
Oh, look, potentially, but I think the exciting part of that is the strategy that may be applied to that. So there's real risk and reward related to that. So if they do choose to do that, then you're running the risk of potentially that becoming an attacking zone.
Yep. And just to clarify that, 6 players from each side in those zones, as we just identified, and they can move the moment the ball's
That's
bounced.
right, as soon as it's bounced.
Yep. OK, the next one, the kick in after a behind. I think this one is going to generate a lot of news. Where will you be taking this one?
So the kick in after a behind, the player currently is 5 metres on the mark.
Yes.
And from there, what will happen is we'll extend that out to 10 metres now.
OK. And within that 10-metre zone, can there be other players?
No, there can't be.
Okay.
So there's a protected zone that'll operate, which currently operates right over the entire ground currently.
Yeah. If the player with the ball in the goal square chooses to have a teammate to his left or right, is that allowed? And then can an opponent be on that person?
Yes, well, the extension of this change to this kick-in rule is that as soon as a point is signalled by the goal umpire, the player can actually step outside the square and take the game on. So there's no longer the need to touch the ball onto your boot and then leave the goal square. They can actually just advance out of the goal square.
That's an extremely significant change.
It is, yeah.
Historically significant change.
It is, yeah. We're very excited about what this may deliver to the game. We look at this and feel it's an advanced version of the extended goal square, which everyone certainly was talking about, may come in. We think that we've actually advanced beyond that. Beyond
that possibility of the goal square being 18
metres. So a player in this scenario, can step outside the goal square. They can kick or handball the ball into play.
So it's just got to run through the goal square, be it behind the field of play or even from the side of the goal square. As long as they cross through the goal square,
that's right.
They're allowed to even handball as their first point of disposal.
Yes, correct. So it's an attacking play that we're now arming that particular player with inside the goal square. So there's multiple options. The other thing is too, with the player inside the goal square, that particular player, if he chooses not to step out the goal square, has got the protection of the goal square, and then can choose to kick it long.
And the umpire will call him to play on at some stage.
Correct. That's right.
OK, the signalling of the behind, the umpire will still do that, obviously. Does the player have to wait until it's flagged, or just the signal itself?
Just the signal.
OK. We've seen now for a number of years, probably 10 or so years, that there's a bag of balls behind the goals ready for that
ball
player.
steward.
Yeah. Does that change?
Yes, we're certainly considering, we'll work with clubs on that as to whether or not we speed that availability of that ball being made available to the player. So, again, we're trying to put speed on the game and really get a balance between attack and defence. We're trying to reset that. Yeah,
the person taking that kick out or handball out, as it is now allowed under the rules, are they going to become the AFL's quarterback?
Possibly. I think the strategy that will roll off the back of this is quite exciting. Having multiple discussions with coaches over the last week or so, and listening to potentially the type of players that they may use in this part of the game is quite exciting for the game.
Is this the big one of the 8 changes we've got in your eyes?
I think it is, yeah. I think that when you have a look at the in-out game that currently is sort of in play, and look, you know, we've had a fantastic year, no doubt about that. This is about enhancement.
Yeah.
You know, how can we continue to enhance what was an outstanding grand final?
Yeah.
But you know, prize the game open just a little bit further.
And just to back over your point you just made, so the extension of the goal square has almost been superseded by these changes. This is the next step of the extended goal square.
Yeah, that's how we see it. Yes, definitely.
Okay, a couple of quick ones, and we'll get on to the other changes too. Restrictions on the runners and the water carriers within the game.
Yeah, I don't think that'll surprise a lot of people. This one,
pretty popular too, I think.
Yeah, look, I think where we've got to, we want to see just players being able to play and less interference, and you know, the coaches, the clubs will certainly still have access. They can do that post-goal.
Yep.
The runners can be you know, activated at that stage of the game.
They need to get off the ground before the ball's bounced.
Yeah, they do.
And if they don't?
Yeah, we'll look at what we implement around that.
Okay.
We'll make sure that that's adhered to.
And the water carriers? They can't
water
be near
carriers,
the play?
live play,
Yep.
they cannot be on the ground. Again, we just want to streamline it so that the players have the ability to take the game on.
Yep.
That's the whole purpose behind this.
And the key takeout there is runners on the ground only after a goal, and then back off it before the ball's bounced, otherwise free kick or fine.
Yep.
Or within the play. Yep. Umpire contact, it's always an issue with the congestion that has been in play now for a number of years. What changes there?
Yeah, so centre bounce mainly this one. It's certainly, you know, it's a rule that's in place. We're just going to enforce that more in 2019 and not allow players to sit up behind the umpire, directly behind the umpire in the centre bounce.
Yep, sort of there's a better policing of what's already there.
Yes,
yeah. Okay, this one I think is also going to be an interesting one as it unfolds. The 50-metre penalty protection. You're going to offer the player who's given the 50-metre penalty more scope to do what he wants to do with the ball.
That's right, yeah. Again, trying to arm the player and the team that have actually got.
What we might do here, Steve, is have a look at an incident here where McGovern has marked this ball and is infringed by Jack Viney, who gives away a 50-metre penalty.
Yes, yeah. So Viney falls a long way behind McGovern in this scenario. Yep. He's actually inside the protected zone there.
Right.
Moving forward, McGovern will have the ability to play on wherever he chooses to.
At any stage of that.
So if he chooses not to take the full 50 and play on at 20 metres because of the options that are
So this is the same incident, and you can see McGovern now highlighted. He has the ball. You're saying that he can now access these players who are clearly within his line of sight and line of range at any stage of the umpire taking him back to the 50.
That's exactly right, Damian. When we look at that vision there, I think the important thing to point out is currently there's delaying tactics going on around that. You know, a player has won the right for a 50-metre penalty, so we need to arm that attacking team with the ability to take the game on.
Yep.
That's the purpose of that change.
And the way Viney came in from around the sides, as you say, within the exclusion zone, so to speak, we just have a look at it again here. Is he going to be then pinged another 50-metre penalty if he's to do this in 2019? Okay, so he has to remove himself and another player can take the mark.
Yeah, so Wiedemann in that situation would come up and man the mark if McGovern chooses.
And again, the West Coast Eagles players could run at McGovern in that situation right now, and he can pair off to them. Yeah. That's going to free the game up, I would think.
Yes.
Okay, marks and free kicks close to goal. This is another one of the changes, Steve.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're quite excited about this one here. We're going to.
And this is for the defensive clearances, so to speak. So the player with the letter D on his body there is the man who's got the ball. He's now got greater scope to clear the ball with that increase in distance between himself and the man on the mark.
Yeah, what we've found with this one is players have been pinned right in on the boundary line, particularly out of bounds on the full. So in this scenario, you'll be able to take the game on. It opens the game up. It opens up the 45 kick for teams, and again, arming the player and the team that actually have the ball to take the game on.
Okay. The other part under this headline, marks and free kicks close to goal, is a live example we can show you now that happened in the finals this year. Jack Gunston took a mark on the quarter-time siren, and traditionally speaking, Jack Gunston would normally kick that ball across the body if he wasn't impeded by the siren. Now, the siren, under the old rules, means he has to go at that mark in a direct line. Yeah. So now, in 2019, even though the siren's gone, Jack Gunston can do what?
he can now park himself on that dot there.
Yep.
On the left-hand side, and he can actually kick around the corner and snap it, as long as he's snapping over the player on the mark.
On the mark.
In line with the goal.
So he can come at that from a sideways direction, provided he doesn't cross that second dot where the arrow is now pointing.
Yeah.
He's allowed to kick that ball across his body. Yeah. And again, the reasons behind all this, is this one of the modern rules?
This is the modern player.
Yeah.
They're doing this all the time.
And it clears up the debate around Buddy Franklin running in the arc after the siren.
Yes.
OK, another one which will require some good policing. The hands in the back in marking contests. There's been a crackdown on it. You're loosening this one up ever so slightly?
We are. Yeah, we're going to allow the players to protect the drop zone.
OK, so in 2018, we can see here, Paddy Dangerfield takes a mark where he does use hands in the back of Hibberd. He was free kick there, Dangerfield. The free kick went to Hibberd. In 2019, that is a mark.
Yes.
Yep. And the reasoning behind that?
Well,
and we'll just have a look at another example as you talk too. Cripps takes a mark here over Langdon. Again, in 2018, he was free kicked. Langdon got the free.
Yeah. So as a forward, he should be able to protect his space.
Right.
He's protecting the drop zone of the ball, and we think that is a natural, instinctive way that a player needs to play.
Okay. So provided the action of
it's not two actions. Yeah. If he's just looking to protect his area and allow the ball to drop into there, play on.
And will that create more one-on-ones into the 50, supposedly and hopefully for you?
Well, that's part of the plan.
Yeah, OK. Now, the other one too, last one, the grabbing the ball out of the ruck. It's been banned now for some time, and there's a couple of stark examples as to how this can really, I suppose, cause problems for a ruckman who's dominant. We'll just run a couple of vision bits here where Paddy Ryder took the ball out of this particular contest, is only basically touched by Nick Naitanui. Nick Naitanui gets the free kick. There's another one here where Jacobs takes the ball out. Stanley effectively just touches him. Jacobs is free kicked against. McAvoy here, because of this
scenario.
Yeah, this is the mod. McAvoy felt the need to tap that, whereas he, would have normally taken the ball in his hand. So in 2019, ruckmen are allowed to take the ball out.
They are. Yeah, we're looking at in that scenario there. The way it's worked is on a boundary throw-in currently in 2018. The prior opportunity for the ruckman is whilst the ball is being tossed back in to play.
Yep.
In 2019, that won't be the case. You'll be able to actually take it out, compete against your opponent, or if there isn't an opponent, actually just take possession of the ball and then distribute the ball.
And you'd be tackled but allowed to get rid of it in
That's
that,
right.
in that
Same holding the ball scenario as it currently exists.
That's a big bonus for ruckman.
It is. We're looking to advance ruckman in the game. We want all types of players playing the game. This
gives them their power back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We want talls, smalls, in-betweens. We want all types of players playing, and this is a huge advantage as far as the ruckman go. You
may not want to talk specifically, but Richmond, obviously, with its use of Grigg as the second ruckman over the past 2 seasons, at times allowed the opposition ruckman just to take the ball or go for the ball himself. So what happens in that scenario?
Yeah, look, I think across the competition, that's certainly, there's been the rise of that. In this one here, it is then incumbent on the team. If they've got a dominant ruckman, you're going to have to play a dominant ruckman, which is pretty exciting for the game.
Yeah, it is. So of a snapshot of those 8 changes or interpretation changes, what's that mean for the game?
It means free-flowing, fast play. We're really excited about that. It's, I think what we've been able to achieve here is we've looked after the heritage of the game, but at the same time we're progressing the game as well. That's our role. It's been 10 months' worth of work. We've enjoyed it thoroughly. We've consulted broadly, right across the whole competition. Past, present players, former coaches, media people, competition committee, right through to the executive, through to the commission. I thank them all for their commitment to landing this.
Yep, and you'll get your life back. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, it's been really enjoyable, very thorough process, and very thankful to the team I've had available.
Thanks for your time today, explaining what you're about to release with the changes for 2019.
Thanks, Damian.
And if you would like more information on those new rules and their interpretations, head to afl.com.au. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.